right, welcome to the studio this morning. When you hear things like Nigerian Religious Freedom and Accountability Act of 2026, that sounds like a law coming out of the National Assembly in Nigeria, but that's not. That law is being presented at the US Congress. Philip, when you hear things like Nigerian Religious Freedom and Accountability Act 2026, how would you believe that that is a bill before the US Congress?
You see, we are people who don't know what we have and what belongs to us. Don't forget, late last year, the President of the United States of America, President of Donald Trump, said Nigeria is a country of particular concern, and his reason was his on Christians being persecuted in Nigeria, that Christians are being targeted to be exterminated. And what do you think? He said, and we, America, will not sit by to watch our Christian brother being killed, will be sacked from their ancestral home and all that. That we are going to take decisive steps to protect our brothers. So, this law, hearing it that there's now a religious freedom and accountability bill before the US Congress, it gives me joy because it shows that there is still government who walk the talks. They said they will protect their Christian brothers in Nigeria. Don't forget, Nigeria is the fourth largest Christian community in the world as a whole. So therefore, America being a Christian nation, or more of a Christian nation, and have their Christian brother here, it's a brotherhood thing. Don't forget, the Islamization we are talking about, it's being perpetuated by people, a country who are Islamic in nature, for instance, Turkey, aid the Muslim here to Islamize Nigeria. So it's not out of place for the US to put a law in place to give the power, the legal right.
But the concern some people might raise,
yes,
even why this is coming to help people, had it been it was a balanced ground, had it been Nigeria as a nation is able to protect both Christians and Muslims and all other minority religious group, nobody will be talking about this. But the people are worried now that Nigeria is becoming a battleground in some form, because you had Gumi, ask the president to go to Turkey the other day to leave America out, because some people are not going to be comfortable with America, that America are not going to be independent, that they will be biased. You also see people on the Christian as say, no, why go to Turkey? Turkey was a nation that was just Christians before, Corinth of those days, now becoming almost just about Muslims. That we don't want to see the face of Turkey here, because Nigeria has overgrown the level. Nigerian proportion is not the type that you can Islamize or Christianize anybody. You are actually calling for war, and that's exactly what our NSA said the other day, that those who are talking about religious extremism are at war with the government. When people say things like this, should America be coming with the law, or really trying to help our democratic institution to be able to establish it ourselves?
You see, if you listen to, we're lectured here by the president of the Middle Belt Forum, Dr.
Bitrus Pogus.
He lectured us how Nigeria, under the government of Babangida, a Muslim, became a member of OIC, and we started paying dues to them. You see, you answer the question yourself, that is it that the Nigerian government failed to put a balanced ground for us to operate, where we now see Nigeria as a secular state? If you listen to Dr. Bitrus, he said, we are not a secular state. Well, but again, we have more Christians in Nigeria than Muslims, but they tend to make us believe that we are Muslim nation. He gave us data, facts and figure, and he go back memory lane. Therefore, you see, Nigeria is not a battle. Nigeria is not the first country to experience what is about to happen, because it has happened between Taiwan and what is the name of that country again?
Okay, Malaysia, Singapore.
Malaysia and Singapore. It has happened before. So if that's the direction we are headed, then so be it. Because you can't imagine that every day, even as we are seated here, Christians are being killed in the northern part of this country, in the northeast, northwest, and north central. This is the truth position. You understand? Just yesterday, 9 worshippers were taken away from where they were worshiping their God. So it takes, you see, Christianity is a brotherhood thing. It's my Christian brother, my Christian sister. So it is the right thing for America to do, since the government of Nigeria has failed to protect the life of its citizen. The man, the president of the Middle Belt Forum told us that we should forget about what we have in section 14, that we should go and look at section 10. And it mentioned how the numbers of times.
Let me come to you with that section 10 of 1999 Constitution. Let's be explicit. It said the government of the federation or of a state shall not adopt any religion as state religion. But we're in this country, we've seen states adopt a religion as a state religion. That is in contravention of section 1010. And we actually, as a matter of fact, during Obasanjo's time, he said, don't worry, the Sharia will fizzle out. He said so, and eventually it almost happened. I remember when we were working in Mina that time in Mekunkele, in airport in Mekunkele, and you need to go to barracks to get certain things. You can't get it outside. It was something that we didn't understand. Even as much as Nigeria was very peaceful, then we didn't have Boko Haram or whatever. But you have to go to barracks to get certain things, and that is your country. And this issue of subjecting those in particular who do not belong to that religion to a judgment from that religion. For example, if you are a Christian, you only know the Constitution as a law that you must abide by, and you also probably know the rules in the Bible as to how you relate with God. But somebody to convict you based on blasphemy in another book that you have never read and may never read it till you die, what kind of country is that?
Well, most of the time I normally talk about the politicians playing a ding-dong affair with us. When Obasanjo say Sharia was fizzled out, sometimes I try to understand Obasanjo at the time, because the thing came upon him. He was just coming into a civilian rule. So probably he didn't know what to do at the time. If people in the South, right, or in the North said Sharia is our way of life. Of course, people in the South should say Christianity is our way of life. Is it because everybody lives in this country? Whether I have Fulani people in my village.
Plenty.
I have Hausa people in my place. That some of them live. They've made that place their home. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
If you also institute, because violence is not a one man thing. It is not localized. Anybody can be violent about anything, but in the spirit of living together and making sure we all live together, people from Benue State can say we adopt Christianity as our religion of the state, because what fits the Uganda fits the goods. That's the truth. So what they should do is the government of the day that should bring out the Constitution. I've always talked about the Constitution. The Constitution is our Bible of living. Anything that is not in consonance or in accordance with the Constitution, that's what the federal government should stand on. Not try to pamper this one.
Look at the case of this lady Deborah. Is it Deborah Sunday?
Deborah, yes.
Yeah, Deborah. I've forgotten the song.
Yes.
Yeah, Deborah. That's happened.
Yes.
See, today,
Yes.
I didn't hear that anybody was held for the murder of Deborah. What message are you sending? It means you are not safe. I am not safe. Deborah can be convicted based on a blasphemy on a book she has never read and does not know what constitutes blasphemy. She doesn't even know what constitutes blasphemy, because she's not subject to that law. She wasn't convicted under the Constitution. Sure. Neither was she convicted by her own.
It was a barbaric act of some religious.
And today, nobody is held accountable for that murder. As a matter of fact, one of the things I heard against Atiku, which I am so furious that if Atiku becomes a president in this nation, Christians might not be safe. Atiku sent out a tweet and deleted it, that the tweet was sent out without his knowledge, that he is yet to make a statement. From that time till now, Atiku is yet to make a statement.
You see, that's what we are saying, that most of everybody play politics with what should be and what should not be. If people from this particular religion say that this is what it is.
But now look at the consequences. That's what I'm saying. We are seeing Nigerian Religious Freedom and Accountability Act, if it goes through now,
Yes.
a bill
Being
passed in the Congress, simply because what we say we are, a nation where everybody can worship whoever they have chosen or God they have chosen, is not happening.
Well, you see, from my observation, from what I've noticed, a lot of these things pass through the water, and the politicians try to please people first, and not undermining the laws of the state. Whoever you are, the lawyer of Nnamdi Kanu said that Nnamdi Kanu is held against what he said he did not do. But the people that have done it, Boko Haram, Islamic bandits, whatever.
I said they did it.
They are roaming the streets.
And on TikTok.
They are roaming the streets.
There's one ragtag, dirty-looking boy. When there was a kidnapping in Bini Kebi, he spoke in Hausa and said, "I'm coming to kidnap the president."
Yes, who has done something about that?
Today, they have not.
So if one law applies here and the other law applies here, that's injustice, and that's my only option for you to say that other religious bodies that are outside of the country, like the US, you now give them the opportunity to come to Nigeria.
All right, let's look at where this might take us to. We saw that the First Lady was in the US, and of course, she was personally recognized by Trump. Dugara was there, though not personal recognition was given. We also saw, I watched a video where the broadcaster said he denied Siwaju's wife the opportunity to be interviewed there because they believe that whatever they were doing is a cover-up and things like that. Do you think this, what do I call it, this PR stunt, negotiation, diplomacy, is more important than strictly following your laws, letting people know that if we are to be one nation, because let us even forget about the population of Christian or population of Muslim, because when they say, oh, the only reason why the president picked a Muslim ticket was for political reasons so that he could win, and I kept telling them, if Muslim ticket brought the numbers, what were you doing with the glitches? If the Muslim ticket actually had the numbers you claim it had, you wouldn't need the glitch. You would want electronic transmission of results and let the Muslims vote.
In fact, you have an overwhelming
certainly that number is not there. And following what Dr. Pogu told us, that back in the 60s, early 60s, that the most populous area was the southeast, that the north was the least populated region, that it has a history. So we haven't seen how they have become the most popular. That's a matter of fact, that was why carving out middle belt was difficult. But in the spirit of maintaining this complete nation, the beauty of Nigeria, which is almost what I think is in America. You find desert in Arizona, you find the snow in New York and things like that. What you can't find in Kaduna, you go to River State, you find it. That is the beauty of this country. But for it to remain so, we must respect that some are Christians, some are Muslim, some African God worship, some are Buddhist, some are, and you can't convict anybody based on what he or she has not chosen. When you kill anybody based on your own law that does not govern that person, you have committed murder, and the government should try you. Are we ready for that kind of nation?
I will start with the president's wife going to the US and what the question is, on what capacity? The United States government is having breakfast prayer as a Christian nation, and you have Mr. President wife there and is being recognized. What do you expect, Mr. Trump to do to say that he did not recognize it? So the thing is very clear. It shows that they have left the work that they apply to do back home, and they are out there trying to launder their own image that has been so bastardized before the world. Because if they are doing the right, like you rightly pointed out, if they are ensuring that the laws are followed in total, that the laws are being implemented the way they are crafted in the law book, the America need not to tell you that you are a part of a country of a particular concern, because everybody would have been protected by the law as it's stated, because the first priority of government is to protect life and property of our citizens.
All right, one of the things that's going to come out from that law, if that bill, if eventually goes through, is to declare Fulani militia as a foreign terrorist organization, simply because all the activities have checked the boxes of foreign terrorist organization. Would that give America, because if you are declared a foreign terrorist organization, America has the right to, by their own law, not by your own law, to go into anywhere they can find what they consider threats and deal with them? Would that have Nigeria to be more exposed to American bombs and their firepower?
Since
we don't want to deal with them ourselves.
Yeah, even the First Lady said the bombing of the Christmas Day was a welcoming development, and they expected more. So with the law backing America, again, we give them more right to do that.
All right. Did you see Nigeria becoming a punching ground, or you see our government deciding to make Nigeria a terror-free country?
Well, their actions have spoken that way, and that's number one. Then
Which
number
way?
two, they harbor terrorists,
Yeah.
because that was one of the reasons America went into Afghanistan.
Yeah.
If it also posed as a threat to America's
Yeah.
interest
Yes.
and country
Yeah.
and persons,
Yes.
they have the right to come to
Do
your
that.
country.
All right, so I think we are going to keep it there. I just hope Nigeria is able to put their house in order so that what happens domestically here is not legislated from elsewhere. We'll be right back very shortly.